What's going on, you guys? Me and my friend Jaycee, we are here at Rare Breed. We're going to be training today, but before we do, we're going to be going through a dynamic warm-up with you guys because much like many of us, we haven't worked out in months. And so before we get back into it, it's really important that we go through the proper warm-up. So my friend Jaycee.
How's it going, you guys?
Jaycee, tell us a little bit about what you do before we get into it.
So what's going on, you guys? My name is Jaycee. I'm a sports rehabilitation therapist and also been a personal trainer for about 9 years. I specialize a lot in functional training, fundamental movements, and my practice specializes in soft tissue therapy. So a lot of what I do is all correctional, anything to kind of prevent and also repair injuries and yeah.
So like you just said, injuries. So Jaycee is my go-to therapy guy, and he's going to be taking us through a dynamic workout today, or dynamic warm-up today, so that we can get prepped and ready to move and get back into our workout routine. So before we get started in our warm-up, we're going to be doing 5 movements, but I want to talk a little bit about why it's important to be doing a dynamic warm-up before our workouts. So we know it's good for injury prevention, we know it's good for fat loss, but can you talk to us a little bit more in depth about why those things are?
Yeah, absolutely. So the key thing with doing a dynamic warm-up is right off the bat, we want to make sure that we don't go into our workouts so cold with our muscles, because a lot of times we kind of jump into things and our muscles most of the time aren't even prepared for those kind of movements. So the whole point and objective of doing a dynamic warm-up is so we can get a lot more blood circulation, make sure our tissues are nice and warmed up,
right,
and making sure that everything is more movable and able to function before we do any of our exercises. And the most important part is with dynamic warm-ups versus like us just kind of do like a normal long holding stretch, we want to make sure that we're adding movement, because that's going to help translate to when we're doing our actual full exercise. So it's all just to kind of pretty much help everything pump blood right into the muscles so we're ready for our workout.
Yeah, absolutely. So for those of you guys out there working on your weight loss, make sure that as you guys go into your workouts, we want to have optimal range of motion through muscles, right? That means the more muscle tissue activated, the more calories essentially that we're burning, right?
Yeah, and so that's the main thing too, is that a lot of us obviously are getting back into trying to lose that weight. And with weight loss, the most important thing is making sure our muscles function correctly, because if our muscles don't properly contract, don't properly move, we're not going to have efficient muscle movement, and without efficient muscle movement, we're not going to be able to burn off that fat along the workouts.
Yep, so we're going to get started. We've got 5 movements. Jaycee's going to be walking me through them.
Alright, guys, so the first dynamic warm-up we're going to go over is an inchworm. Inchworm, I'm going to have Kristen do right here. So I'm going to have you guys watch her. As she moves, I'm going to go over exactly what we're looking for. So go ahead and go into reaching for your toes. First important thing. As Kristen is going to reach for her toes, she's going to walk out with her hands. Okay? And then she's going to bring her hips down all the way to the ground. This is so we're warming up our spine, our hips. And as she pushes up, she's also going to be activating her erectors, getting those shoulders nice and engaged. Walk out all the way to the feet. And then coming back all the way out. We want that full hip extension, and we're going to repeat that about 2 more times. So as she's doing this, the most important thing to look for is making sure that we're actually walking and extending our entire body. You're going to feel throughout this entire exercise, you're getting your whole body involved. So shoulders, hips, low back, upper back, pushing up into it is going to help really get everything warmed up. On average, we want to do at least 1 set of 10 reps, and you can do this either going along the floor or stationary, and that's going to be our inchworm. Alright guys, our next dynamic warm-up is going to be a lunge with an arm extension. So I'm going to have Kristen right here. So first thing and foremost, when we're trying to get into our lunge, we want to make sure our foot position is everything. Shoulder width. As Kristen steps out, okay, you want to lead with your back knee. See how she doesn't try to bend her front knee first. So lead with the back knee. And once you get in that lunge position, you're sitting nice and tight. Arm extension, fully reach up as far back as you can, and then bring the arms back down. And in return, we're going to transition and alternate leg to leg. On average, you want to do this for probably like maybe 10, 12 reps, making sure we get every rep in. So when we're back knee, hips are extended, arms are extended, entire spine is extended when we're doing this. And most importantly, as we come up, she's going to do 1 more arm raise. I want you to focus on one thing to hold this up. As she's reaching out, I want you to keep in mind her scapula is really engaged when doing this. That's most important, especially when we're doing our back and shoulder exercises. Go ahead and return.
Tell them what the scapula is.
The scapula is basically your shoulder blades, without getting too scientific about it. And if you guys want to come along right here,
I'll just hold it.
okay, she'll hold that right here. Okay, scapula is this entire frame. We're gonna think of that as mainly the hub of our shoulder girdle, our upper body. The scapula is more important than a lot of people take it for. So as she gets that down, she also actually do what you were just doing right now. So elevation and depression of the scapula. That's gonna help a lot with our movements like lat pull downs, pull ups, bench, or even if we're doing our, our in-body exercises, anything that's gonna involve the shoulder and back, and that's gonna be our lunge and front raise. All right, guys, next warm-up is going to be much more of an athletic movement. Definitely get our blood flowing up and down. These are called A-skips. I'm gonna have Kristen start from right here. So while she's doing it, the whole point of doing an A-skip, as you can see, she's really tipping off her toes, getting in a nice athletic sprinting motion. And obviously you can see while she's doing this, she's got her shoulders engaged, her arms. That free motion is really good for having everything warm up. And as she's doing it through her legs, go ahead and relax, okay? So go ahead and just hold that position right here, the athletic position. So as you can see, while she's holding this, we are hips engaged, hamstrings, glutes, shoulders, really getting that motion, and that back and forth motion as she's doing her A-skips is really gonna help out with warming up the back exercises, pulling and pushing forward and back down, and switch the leg really quick, okay? And do one tiptoe, okay? Yeah, so one A-skip tiptoe, okay? And as she's transitioning, so go ahead and do a couple reps of A-skips, okay? So as you can see, look down here, as she's moving her toes, that bounce is also warming up our calves. So the importance of doing this is making sure that because she has everything involved in one fast movement, dynamic is what we're looking for, all the blood is pushing and moving. Go ahead and relax. And this is gonna be one of our most efficient dynamic warm-ups, you guys. Do this for on average 30 seconds, and that's gonna be our warm-up. All right, you guys, our next warm-up right here is going to be a squat and reach. So I'm gonna ask Kristen here. So most important, especially when doing squats, making sure we wanna be a little bit outside our hip range. So outside the shoulder width is where we place our feet, and go ahead and go to your squat, okay? Now, as she squats, most importantly, come back up, okay? We're gonna break this down in two movements. So hips back, okay? As she's descending down, notice her knees go way out to the side. This is our most important thing, is the squat. So as she's doing it, she's getting her hips back, knees out to the side to prevent those knee injuries, because we want to take away the load from the knees. Go ahead and go up into your reach. And as she's going up, notice she's not just raising her arms and tossing them up. Go into one more rep, okay? She's bringing it up. As she's going up, she's bringing her arms up, shrugging, and then reaching back up. So that way she really gets everything involved with that scapula that we were talking about earlier, and she's fully extending it. That way, as she's reaching up, hold that position. So this is gonna relate to a lot of different exercises, whether we're doing squat jumps, whether we're doing push-ups, or anything with a pulling motion. That arm raise and that shrugging that she's doing as she's going up and down is gonna really help with her full extension. Not only that, but most importantly, as far as talking about injury, hold it up. It's gonna help correct our posture. Okay. As she's getting her shoulder blades back, as she's extending her arms, she's also correcting her posture in the process of doing it. So doing these long enough, you'll help to kind of like really get those shoulders back, rotate it, really stick the chest up, and that's gonna be our squat and reach. All right, guys, our last dynamic warm up for today, we're gonna be doing Supermans. Very functional movement. It's gonna help target, just to really quick go over what it targets, is our lower back right here, so the erector spinae. Also, once again, our scapula, okay? And also she's gonna be getting her glutes, her external rotators as she elevates her legs, hamstrings, calves, all in one motion. So go ahead and do a couple reps. Very nice, good. Okay, so as Kristen's doing this, notice the first thing that goes in, go back down. So she's gonna engage and activate the erectors right here. That's the very first thing, and everything locks up and tightens. So this is gonna be your main muscle that leads the whole entire movement. So go ahead and squeeze, elevate. She's getting that Y motion once again to really open up that chest, open up the scapula, really open up the shoulders, and also she's got her legs involved. Obviously, we're gonna be doing a lot of lower body movements when doing our in-home workouts or even at the gym. We got a lot of lower body involved, so she's getting her glutes really nice and contracted. Also, one main thing that you can't really see from here, but she's pressing her hips right into the ground as she pushes. That's gonna help us with our nice hip extension, opening up that pelvis, and then from there, hold this right here, okay? Everything is gonna these thumbs up right here is the most important part of this movement, because as she's opening those thumbs up, she's also getting the rotator cuffs involved, the scapula involved, and her pec major, which is right below, obviously right here. As she's opening up wide, go ahead and do one last rep right here. Very good. And back down. And that right there, you guys, is gonna be our Supermans.
That is a wrap on our 5 dynamic movements for a warm-up. So remember, it's super important as you guys are getting back into your workout programs and hitting the gym again to make sure that your tissues are properly warmed up, so that way when you get into your workout, you're effective, you're gonna be safe, and you're also gonna burn the most calories possible. Jaycee, thank you for being with us.
Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing your knowledge. We will have Jaycee back very soon, you guys. He's a wealth of information, and I love hearing what he has to say because he keeps me mobile. Until next time, thank you.